Good morning and welcome to the second of a three-part speaker series generously sponsored by Wells Fargo Bank. Today's hot topic, which obviously is very hot because we have a nice full room, is revenue generators, social media, and your business. My name is Priscilla Lopez, and I'm the Regional Director for the Orange County Inland Empire Small Business Development Center Network, serving Orange County, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. Now, can all of you say that like 10 times? That's a mouthful, isn't it? We are one of the Centers of Excellence hosted by Mihailo College of Business and Economics. And we are co-hosting this event with the Center of Entrepreneurship and, of course, Mihailo College of Business and Economics.
I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker of the day, Mark Manguera. He's the founder of the Kogi group. Mark has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, Newsweek, CNN, the New York Times. Son of a gun, he's a graduate of Cal State Fullerton in entrepreneurship, ladies and gentlemen. And you wonder why we do this. That's why. He also spent some time at the California Culinary Academy, learning that food thing. And he lives in Marina del Rey, and he's the proud father of a 1-year-old girl named Jaden. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Manguera.
What I'm going to try to focus on are really 3 points. What is social media, right? So try to erase your mind about what social media should be, and really think about what social media can do for you. Okay, let's start that off, and then how social media helped Kogi. I'm going to go into that and share all my trade secrets with you guys. My lawyer's probably going to end up suing me today, so. And then after that, we're going to talk about some examples of social media with you guys out there in the crowd. So, really, what social media is, guys, it's really just a tool. Okay, let's forget all about the misconceptions of what social media is. It is a bridge. It's a bridge between you and I, right? It's a way for me to build a relationship with you guys. It's a way for me to talk, to communicate, to connect. But more importantly, this is the key between social medias. It's a way for me to establish a relationship with every one of you out there. Okay, that's really what social media is. So that's it for that. Now, Kogi, the way Kogi uses social media is very interesting. We use it as a way to tell our guests, very simply, if we're late, if our location's changed, if we broke down, the police pulled us over. You know, these are all ways to communicate to our guests instantly, free, and right away. I mean, it's almost as easy as sending a text message to one of your friends, but we send it to 60,000 people. So Twitter is really our way to connect with our guests, to show them that we appreciate them, and also to show them that we're not necessarily a company, but we're also a human being behind it. Irvine Company, as we know, is one of the largest companies here in Orange County. But they were able to see outside the box and say, you know what, we are in the business of keeping our tenants happy. Now, happy tenants means obviously longer leases and all this good stuff. But with every tenant in Irvine Company, each person usually has to have a lunch break. Now, as Kogi, we provide lunch, but we also needed a place to park. So they were able to reach out to us and say, you know what, we may not understand this whole Twitter thing, Mark, but if we can give you a parking spot, would you feed our guests so they can keep happy? Social media isn't going to solve all your problems, okay? But social media will help you connect with your guests a lot easier, a lot better, and they won't feel more like a client. You know, I'm going to talk about Wells Fargo. They won't feel like a client. They're going to feel like family, right? And it's not that hard. All it takes is for someone every morning or every day or every afternoon is to send out a Twitter and say, hey guys, brand new APR, got new paint in, insurance, brand new product, come check it out. That took 10 seconds. It's free, and everybody gets it on their phone. Like, that is probably the most effective way to let people know what social media is. It's just a simple bridge to connect you with your guests. That's about it. And from there, the character and the person behind the Twitter is the person really responsible for helping your business grow. So that's all I have. I hope that made sense to everybody out there. All right. Thank you.
A lot has been said about having a marketing strategy, a social media strategy. What is it, and and how might you create it?
Right. Everyone's at different levels of their businesses and trying to figure out what social media means for them. And what you got to do first is define the goals. What are the objectives of your business? It goes back to your business plan. And in your business plan, you need to develop a marketing plan. And within your marketing plan, you need to have an internet marketing plan, of which social media plays a big role. Identify your mediums first. I always like to go after the top 3 or 4. That would be LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Define content that's relevant for each of those mediums and deploy that content on a regular basis. Don't overdo it. Don't underdo it. Have content that's relevant, educational, and not salesy, cheesy, or something that's going to turn people off. The greatest threat to a 60,000 following on Twitter is an opt-out. Check to see that people are still engaged.
Joe, I was reading an article where you were quoted that content should really be stories and that companies want to be storytellers. What do you mean by that?
It's funny, we talk to a lot of companies about what their brand is, and I'll digress for a moment, and only a moment. But marketing to me, and as the creative guy of the agency, stories are what we all connect to. It's from the first campfires. I don't know if there's any fans of Joseph Campbell and sort of archetypal storytelling. This goes way back, and it's a true hoot in advertising that the brand is always the hero. And heroes will always go on journeys. And this is something that I've talked about for years, and it's interesting, the man to my right, his brain is on a journey, physically on a journey, every day. And the beautiful thing about this medium is that you're allowed to take your brand on a journey. And every hero may fail at times, but as long as we're following that person, and you've sort of wrapped a brand personality around this journey, and it's honest, people love it. Because even if something does go wrong, and companies constantly deal with challenges, especially with today's economy, as long as you are there in the social space, speaking, taking your brand and testing it, you're going to find your sweet spot.
When you have those followers and that trust, you have to make sure your content is relevant. Make sure you have an incentive tied to it as well. Kingston Technologies, memory company you guys are familiar with, we launched a great Facebook campaign for them and got about 10,000 people immediately to follow them. How did we do it? We gave away 60 solid-state memory drives for free. And it's amazing what people will do for free, be it in the B2B or B2C space, and make it something people can actually win.
Do's and don'ts that you've dealt with in terms of social media. Anything come to mind?
You've got to be consistent. You can't forget your customers. If you're tweeting, you're social mediaing, whatever it is you're doing, and you're doing it every day at a certain time every day, you got to keep it up. It's work. It's a lot. It's not to say it's a lot of work, but after a while, that work becomes hopefully fun and joy, because at the end of the day, you're connecting with the people that's buying your service or your product. But that's really the main thing. Keep it real consistent. Don't forget the people who are supporting you, talking about your product, talking about your business, because those are the people that are gonna last and be there for you for the long run.
Yeah, and I think a conversational tone, like we're at Starbucks, I think is a good tone to have within the content. And it's okay, I think, to be funny and glib, but you've got to be careful not to offend. And that's where you have to remember, from a B2C or a business perspective, this is business, and people on the other end are actually going to read what you write. There is another risk with a business-focused social media page, and that would be negative comments, because in that forum you're going to get feedback from customers, from prospective customers, and maybe even some nutcases. how do you manage those negative comments?
And that's called policing content. That's really important as well. If you're beyond 1,000, followers or viewers of your fan page or your Facebook, you have to make sure someone in-house or external is following. There's actually an application too on Facebook that will actually send an email to you or a text anytime any comment is posted, so you can actually peruse comments throughout the day just to make sure there's nothing negative. With Kingston, when we had about 10,000 people following their page that we created for them, there was all sorts of comments coming from the IT community that were positive and negative. And so rather than just deleting them or removing them, we actually would take that as a PR opportunity to correct it and post the correct content. So by removing, you're kind of hiding, the reality. I would rather just take the negative comment, isolate it, and respond to it. And most people don't put negative stuff on social media because they may get reported as abusive, and people don't want to lose their account.
It's really built this incredible platform with social networking, and the more you review, people follow you, and I mean, they review. My dentist is on there. I mean, no business is immune from Yelp. So, if you're doing business of any kind, you have a chance of being reviewed by Yelp. I will tell you, the difficulty is that it is designed to critique you. So people going right out of the gate already are, kind of gunning for you to some extent. Now, if you deliver a good product and you take care of them, you identify who they are. If I see somebody young walk into my restaurant, again, the seller's around 40 years, there's a good chance they're going to end up on Yelp or some online review site. Now, if they pull out their digital camera and they're taking photos of every plate that come along, I know for sure they're going to be on Yelp as soon as they get home, right? So, it's become a really interesting a tool. One thing I do appreciate about Yelp, and I've certainly had my ups and downs, but I'll be honest with you, but a lot of failures with Yelp early on. You can respond. You can respond in private, you can respond in public, which is a little risky, but at least you have that dialogue. So if a guest comes in and they don't have a great experience, you can at least reach out to them, which I think a lot of sites are moving in that direction, but they really got ahead of it more than anybody else. And it's delicate though. That Yelp is a powerful tool, and it intimidates me a little bit. But we're doing better and better with it. I feel good about the direction, and again, identifying that customer has been key in the success of kind of turning that around for us.
Yeah, there's a website called Mashable. I highly recommend it. It is the site for information on social media. One challenge is every day there are like 100 new tools that are available to manage your tools that manage tools, if you can believe it. Mark, I wonder if you can make a comment about all these tools that are available. Are they really worth it? How do you figure it out?
I think it's quite simple. You got to figure out your business first, and then figure out your audience second, and then find a tool to help connect the two together. It's not that hard. For us, we're a mobile food truck, so it's great for us to let people know instantly where we're going to be. For another industry, maybe it's not Twitter, maybe it is Facebook, maybe it is who knows what that's out there. But it's quite simple. Figure out what your business is, figure out who your audience is going to be, and find that bridge.
I know we touched upon mobile briefly. Do you have any of you have experience with mobile initiatives, text message marketing, mobile apps, or mobile websites? And can you share some experiences with that?
That's definitely the future. I'm not trying to hog the stage here, but a majority of our clients are looking at mobile. If you look at what JetBlue's doing, you look at how there's mobile websites, that's what we're doing for a lot of our clients. So you've just built a little, JavaScript, and it detects whether you're coming in on an iPhone or a BlackBerry, and the way the website displays is in a mobile platform. And with the 4G network and 3G, I mean, it just comes up right away, and you're able to access information. Like for the Cellar restaurant, I would make sure that they have a mobile website. So that way, if someone's just trying to get directions, because most people aren't accessing the Cellar restaurant to go through menus in lots of detail. They're going to get directions and information, and that's it. But that mobilization is the future. 23% of search now is happening on iPhones and BlackBerries. So you have to have a very strong mobile strategy, and text marketing is another big one. So if you got people's cell phone numbers, it's a great way to deploy communication and then get them tied back into your website.